Happy Monday, Wenatchee Valley. Happy Monday, North Central Washington. Bet you want your hour back, don't you? I know I do. We're back out of here. It's Monday, the 11th day of March, 2019. Wake up, Wenatchee Valley, safely on the air. I am Dan Kuntz, your host. 3M, pushing the buttons. Thanks for starting your day with us here at the NCW Live channel. Thanks for dropping by and paying us a visit at the KPQ Home Expo over the weekend. I had a chance to be down there both Saturday and Sunday. Got to meet a lot of viewers. Enjoyed that quite a bit. And as you know, this happened a couple of years ago, and it happened again yesterday. The home show, the Home Expo, ended at 4, and they had a Wenatchee Wild hockey game at 8. That doesn't give the crew at the Town Toyota Center a great deal of time to turn it around from a Home Expo to a hockey rink, but they did it. In fact, we have about a 20-second video to show you if you're ready. There you go. This is not time lapse. This is real time. Everybody had like 4 cups of coffee. And, it's a time lapse. This is about 45 minutes worth of work whittled down to about 19 seconds between Cal and Tucker and I. We were able to break everything down and make it back here to the Broadcast Metroplex. It was a great time. Splendid time was had by all, good crowds. And again, thanks for dropping by and paying a visit with us. We really enjoyed it. In fact, I had one viewer come by and say, you know, every time you put the Wenatchee Wild hockey puck on your desk for the show, they lose. So don't put the puck on anymore. So I went to the cowbell instead. There we go. Here we go. And by golly, it worked because the Wenatchee Wild won. We will have a Game 7 tonight at the Town Toyota Center. We got highlights from their exciting 3-1 victory over West Kelowna. That was last night. That's coming up when we get to sports. A lot of news to get to. All the usual shenanigans apply second half of the program. David Baldock will be dropping by alongside Angela Richmond, the North Central Washington Heritage Marching Band. What is it? We'll explain. But essentially, if you went to school, specifically high school, anywhere in North Central Washington, and at one time or another you marched in the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival Grand Parade, they want you back because they want to put all the alumnus together and have a band. Thought it'd be kind of cool. So David and Angela will talk about that in the second half of the program. The weather continues to be the main topic of conversation. By the way, we've already tied the record low for today. We did it already. We got down to 19 degrees a couple of hours ago. That ties the record low for March 11th. So for the record, here we go. That's a nice little play on words. We have set or tied record low temperatures. We did it already today. We did it Sunday. We did it Saturday. We did it Friday. We did it last Thursday. We did it Monday the 4th, Sunday the 3rd. 3 days in February. 3 days in February. It's been abnormally cold. 40 days in a row now with our daily high temperature below normal. That's insane. We are going to warm up gradually, very gradual warm up, but still we're not going to be near normal till maybe Sunday or Monday of next week. Sunday or Monday of next week. And as you know by now, this winter weather, as we get so close to spring, is just wreaked havoc on the spring high school sports schedule. We'll get you up to date on that in just a couple of minutes. Let's take you around the valley with our Valley View cameras, courtesy of Localtel's Sky-Fi high-speed wireless at 3 minutes after the hour, almost 4 minutes after the hour now. That's the cross cam, zoomed in a little bit. Senator George Seller Bridge takes center stage today as people are out and about. Daylight saving time is now, of course, officially kicked in. So yesterday was only 23 hours long. I still want my hour back. Here's an idea. Schedule very important meetings on the Sunday of daylight saving time at like 2:30 in the morning because it doesn't exist. Then you don't have to show up. And now, of course, because of daylight saving time, sunrise isn't until 7:22 this morning, so we're still about 16 minutes away from sunrise, but sunset will be after 7 o'clock tonight. There's your trade-off. Camera 2, where are we going, Megan? Megan says, let's pay a visit to, I'm sorry, Megan, what is that? Oh, that's Jump Off Ridge. Well, good morning, Jump Off Ridge. Good morning, Malaga. Good morning, Stamilt. Good morning, Wenatchee Heights. Good morning, whoever is out there. It's a beautiful scene. It's just indicative of what we have right now. We're going to be overcast most of the day today. In fact, the clouds will be thickening up. Don't look for a lot of sunshine today. And believe it or not, we have one more dusting of snow coming our way tonight. Details coming up. Camera 3 is a beautiful shot of Turtle Rock. We call that camera the Orondo Rock camera. I don't know why. We got to call it something. And that is looking to the south. That's why you see Turtle Rock dominating your view there. Rocky Reach Dam to your far right. Hidden behind Turtle Rock is the Wenatchee Valley. And what you see right now with the clouds and the fog is what we're going to have most of the day today, and we're still going to have temperatures well below normal for most of this week. But as I mentioned before, it's going to change, finally. Camera 4 is a shot of the Apple Andes camera high atop the Apple Andes complex. It's actually on the ridge above Apple Andes. Good morning to Kashmir. Good to have you here. We got a lot of folks who like this show and like the station in Kashmir. They dropped by and said hi. Had a nice chance to visit with them at the KBQ Home Expo. So at 6 minutes after the hour, let's do your weather forecast from the National Weather Service. And it looks something like this. Again, we're going to be dry today. It's going to be cloudy, not a lot of sunshine. High of only 33. Our normal high today, 52. So we're still 19 degrees below normal for our afternoon high. Then we start talking about some snow. I kid you not. We got a dusting. You know, it's going to be less than half an inch. In fact, we have a graphic to show you exactly how much snow the eastern Washington segment of our state is going to get. Not a lot for us. Plain, Leavenworth, you're going to get a little bit more. Most of the snow is going to be in the Columbia Basin. There you go. Take a look at where you live. As you can see, Spokane's going to get quite a bit of snow, measurable snow. The Idaho Panhandle. Plain's going to get some snow. Leavenworth's going to get some measurable snow. For us, no more than an inch. I don't think we're even going to get to an inch. And most of the snow is going to be overnight tonight, about 8 o'clock until the wee small hours of the morning. So take a look at it. That's what your snow total is. And then we go back to sunshine. It's going to be cloudy Tuesday morning, a little bit of light rain even possible as the snow exits the area. And then gradually we'll see some sunshine at a high near 41 degrees. That's not too bad. Also, it's going to be windy tomorrow. It's going to be windy tomorrow afternoon and windy tomorrow night. If you're going to go to the Wenatchee Quincy soccer game, a game that we're televising, by the way, wear your long underwear, because not only is it going to be chilly, 27 for the overnight low tomorrow night, but it's going to be windy as well, with gusts as high as 24 miles an hour. Wednesday, sunshine, 43. Thursday, back to the clouds and 42 degrees. Then partly sunny Friday and 48. Now that's going to feel downright balmy, but again, that's still below normal. Saturday, 49. When was the last time we saw 54 degrees for an afternoon high? It's a possibility on Sunday. So as I mentioned, a gradual warm-up, no big warm Chinook coming through with lots of snow melt, flooding rivers and streams. That's not going to happen, which is good. We don't want that to happen, but we're finally going to bust out of this cold snap by the time we get to the weekend. Can't come soon enough for me. To the major mountain passes we go. Not a lot going on up there, but things are going to change. They got a winter weather advisory. It's about ready to kick in. Right now, I-90, no problems. Clear skies, no advisories, no restrictions. Roadway is bare and dry. That's a live shot of Snoqualmie Pass. Let's take a live shot of Stevens Pass. No advisories, no restrictions. Roadway's pretty much bare and dry. Some frost and ice in places. Looks like some skiers are showing up to throw themselves down the side of a mountain on 2 skinny pieces of fiberglass. Snowboarders, too. Below Pass is fine. No advisories, no restrictions. The roadway is bare and dry. This is important. Winter weather advisory begins at 5 o'clock tonight, or today, I should say, 5 o'clock today until noon tomorrow. So they're not expecting any great deal of snow during the daylight, but tonight, depending on what pass you're going to take, anywhere from 4 to 8 inches of snow is in the forecast. It's also going to be very windy as that system comes through, that low-pressure system bringing in the cooler air and the moist air. So 4 to 8 inches of snow tonight, and an additional couple of inches early on Tuesday morning before it dries off. So if you're going to drive over the major mountain passes tonight, be prepared, because it's going to snow quite a bit. Again, a winter weather advisory for the Cascades from 5 o'clock today until noon tomorrow. So we're caught up with the weather, we're caught up with the passes, and at 9 minutes after the hour, we're going to come back in 1 minute and get you caught up with the news. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley.
My name is Lacey Haggerty, and I am a nurse midwife with Columbia Valley Community Health. I love all aspects of my job because it is a profession that's very committed to empowering women to make decisions in their health care that feel best for them. It's incredibly valuable to me as a midwife that I get to take care of women throughout their whole lifespan. I hope to see you at a future visit because I know you'll love having midwifery care.
Hey Hey everyone, did you know that the NCW Life channel is North Central Washington's go-to source for news? No matter how you prefer to view your news, NCW Life has you covered. Watch the evening news weeknights on TV, stream it, read it at ncwlife.com, or catch the latest news by following us on Facebook. Stay informed with local news, sports, weather, and shows featuring local people and events. NCW Life, a reflection and a spotlight of the communities we call home.
10 minutes after the hour, 22 degrees, overcast with some patchy fog. We're not going to see a great deal of sunshine today. A high of only 33. Light snow expected tonight. No major accumulations at all for the Wenatchee Valley. And then sunshine for the most part for the rest of the week, and a slightly warmer temperatures each and every day. Here's what's making headlines on this Monday. A Moses Lake man arrested Saturday night after he allegedly fled the scene of a two-car injury accident in the George area. It happened around 6:30 on I-90 and Highway 281. State troopers say 41-year-old Brian Bickle struck another vehicle driven by a George man. Troopers say Bickle was caught after a brief chase when his car crashed into a barrier and became stuck after striking a car driven by 41-year-old Amandio Corona Vera. He and Bickle escaped uninjured. 3 family members from the Coronel Vera vehicle were transported to Quincy Valley Hospital for treatment. Troopers say alcohol and drugs were involved. Other charges are pending. Longtime Wenatchee attorney Tony DiTomaso is favored by his professional peers as the most qualified candidate to replace retiring Douglas County Superior Court Judge John Hotchkiss. DiTomaso outpolled several other local attorneys in an online poll conducted by the Chelan-Douglas County Bar Association. Bar Association President Clark Tibbetts shared the results of the poll with us here at NCW Life News. Smiggy Hagopian and Nicola Hankins placed second and third in the poll. By the Bar Association members also receiving votes, Tyler Hotchkiss, Brian Huber, and Byron Moore. Well, the results have been shared with Governor Inslee for his consideration. The governor is expected this month to announce his selection of a judge to succeed Hotchkiss, who leaves after serving 20 years on the bench. Tony DiTomaso is a 1984 graduate of Gonzaga Law School. He served as a Wenatchee City prosecutor, and then he entered private practice. He's also served as Judge Pro Tem in Chelan and Douglas counties. He ran for election for Chelan County District Court back in 2006, and he lost in the general election to Nancy Harmon. Well, the Port of Chelan County has entered into a lease agreement for its first tenant at the Port's Cashmere Mill District Business Park. Chatsworth, California-based Hearst International. What do? They manufacture fruit label printers and labeling equipment. The company has agreed to lease approximately 6,500 square feet. They're expected to bring 10 new jobs and private investment exceeding $1 million to Chelan County. The founder, Ari Lickenberg, said the company is looking forward to expanding its presence in the region. Hearst International's current customers include Gebbers Farms, Auville Fruit, and Chelan Fruit. The lease agreement is signed as construction work at the former lumber mill continues. Back in September of 2018, the port started construction on 2 general-purpose industrial buildings, each containing 16,500 square feet. They are expected to be completed in late spring. Well, the Mission Ridge Ski and Snowboard Resort announced on Friday that they plan to replace their Chair 2, the Liberator Express, prior to the start of next year's ski season. That's pending approval from the U.S. Forest Service and the Washington State Department of Fish and Wildlife. Josh Jorgensen, Mission Ridge General Manager, says the newly purchased chair is coming from Europe, is a significant improvement for Mission Ridge skiers. The chairlift is a Doppelmar high-speed detachable quad chairlift with bubbles. Sounds cool to me. Jorgensen added that if approved, this investment will offer consistency of operations and a much more comfortable ride up the mountain. The new lift will come with all new electronic systems and controls, which he says will serve Mission Ridge for many years to come. And finally, all this week on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley and on the Evening News with Grant Olson, we're going to be talking about the latest NCW Life Channel magazine. The topic this week is drug court. Here's a preview.
These are our community members. These are people we go to church with. These are people that, are our relatives, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, our children, our grandchildren. So this is a disease that does not discriminate against anyone of any color, any economic status. Right now we are facing a opioid epidemic. Before this, it was a methamphetamine epidemic. Before that, it was a cocaine epidemic. So we are a generation that we move from one drug to the next, to the next, to the next.
At least over 50% of our criminal caseload, or cases, I guess, number of cases, are related to drug or alcohol addiction, substance use disorder. Whether it's possession cases or it's theft, forgery, where people are doing these types of crimes in order to pay for their addiction. It is something that is a significant problem here, and it is just, it does seem like it's a revolving door.
Certainly is something that's been around for a long time. We started looking at it several years ago, and we're trying to figure out how to make it a viable option for people in our county. And there has been a lot of debate back and forth on as to how to do that. Andrew went to some trainings from other counties to look at it. We tried to put it together. Around that time, Judge Ferrara came in and was wanting to really get moving on that. So I think between the defense attorneys, our office, and the judge, we put a lot of effort into trying to create this new thing, a drug court.
I think one of the biggest pieces was, and is Loretta Stover. I think a lot of it started with Doug and Loretta sitting down just talking about, is this feasible and where would the money come from? Because treatment's not free, it's got to come from somewhere, and having the center for alcohol and drug treatment say, we can do this, we can take this on, and we'll dedicate staff to it. That's a big part of what got this going.
When it looked like we really were going to be able to implement one, I was absolutely thrilled. I know that some of the, one of the judges that retired, that was something that he would have liked to have seen prior to his retirement, as well as one of the public defenders who recently retired as well. Some of us have been waiting a long time, so this is great.
An important topic, and you can watch a brand new episode of the NCW Life magazine. Again, the topic, drug court, and I believe it's a two-parter. I believe we have a week's worth of shows this week, and then a brand new set, same topic, next week here on the NCW Life channel. 18 minutes after the hour. Don't forget, the news with Grant Olson comes your way at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. 5, 6, and 10. Check out what happened around the Wenatchee Valley in north central Washington. Grant Olson in the anchor chair. Eric Granstrom with sports. Also, Grant handles the weather forecast, I should say. He doesn't handle the weather. He's an important guy, but he's not that important. He's also not been the most popular coworker around here lately. The news with Grant Olson at 5, 6, and 10. We kid Grant. We love him. Check it out. You can also watch it via our website at ncwlife.com. In fact, we stream all the time. Whatever's on the air right now, if you go to ncwlife.com, you can watch live. So if you, for whatever reason you can't get us, you can watch us on your computer whenever you darn well please. Of course, we also have the vast majority of our programs archived. You can watch them whenever you want. ncwlife.com. Like us on our Facebook page. Go to our Twitter handle. Get a hold of us. If there's something out there you think we need to pay attention to, great way to do it. Email us, news@ncwlife.com, or go to our website, ncwlife.com, and click on the Contact Us icon in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. 19 minutes after the hour, there will be a Game 7 tonight at the Town Toyota Center. Highlights coming your way after the Wenatchee Wild's exciting victory last night. Sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
I'm Jenny Rojanasatian, and this is Guada TV. Every week we will be bringing you a first look at North Central Washington business, tech, and education news. You'll hear from local influencers and innovators who live right here in the Valley. Together, we'll discuss hot topics, current events, and resources that can support your business, our schools, and this community. Join me every week, and let's get inspired.
Welcome back to this Monday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. For the first time in franchise history, the Wenatchee Wild will play a Game 7 in a playoff series. That by virtue of Wenatchee's 3-1 win in Game 6 last night over West Kelowna. The best of 7 series is now tied at 3 games apiece. We got here by virtue of Friday night's 4-2 win by the Warriors. So they had a 3-2 lead going into last night's game. It was a must-win for Wenatchee to stay alive, and by golly, they did it. The Wild scored 5 minutes into the game. They scored first on a power play goal by Lucas Souter. West Kelowna tied it less than a minute later on Parm Dollywall's 6th goal of the series. It would remain tied until the third. You want highlights? We got highlights. Arch Ecker on the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network.
Here come the Wild, dished along, and Souter will chase after it on the left side. Got caught up in the skates of the linesman right in front of the bench. And then I think too many men on the ice. You know, that's an odd call. The referee called West Kelowna for too many men on the ice, and no one had touched the puck. It was caught up in the skates of the linesman. Bangs it down low for Souter. Souter up high to Sasaki. He shoots, save, rebound, score! Lucas Souter tapping home the rebound, the high rising shot. Hopkins stopped it initially, but as the rebound fell in front, Lucas Souter was right there to tap it home. The Wenatchee Wild have only played, a shot and a score right off the draw. They won it back to head over to Chorney, and Chorney unloaded from the midpoint. And I don't know if it got tipped. It doesn't look like it. I don't know what happened to the puck all of a sudden, but it's bouncing all over the place. Now played by Arnold as he stole it away. He's in behind, 2-on-1. Gashevsky shoots and he scores! A shorthanded goal for Matt Gashevsky. That crazy bouncing puck bounced right to Josh Arnold. Arnold able to step in behind the D, created a 2-on-1. The crossing feed for Gashevsky over on the near side. And he drills the one-timer home. And the Wild now lead it 2-1. And off the draw, slapped at by Adams, rolls behind, and then driven ahead, and there's a breakaway pass for Cullen. He shoots, and he scores. Oh, wait, no, says the referee. The ref says no. The goal light went on, and the referee has waved it off. Play is continuing. And the referees are going to talk about it. And now the referee comes over and he will visit with Brandon West at the West Kelowna net. Boy, a stretch play where the puck was saucered. We've seen him do it so many times. It was saucered deep out of the West Kelowna zone. Gloved by Cullen. He caught it at the far blue line, dropped it, raced in alone. Put the shot high on the glove side. But when the puck hit the ground and it came back down, it was in the blue paint. Parks spun around, they swatted it away. The referee threw his arms out and said, no, it didn't cross the line. It looks like they're going to say no goal. And I just saw a tweet come through that said someone who said they watched the replay 5 times and said a great call on the no goal. Puck shoveled along the near boards, played by Stratton, along for Souter. Souter over to Reifenberger, into the empty net. And there will be hockey. Oh, there's Cullen going to come and run in on the celebration. Granted, one of the Wild players may have made contact first as they were passing through, but it was kind of incidental. Marco Reifenberger, empty net goal. Cullen will knock it out to center. He gets it on net, but Park steers it away. And there will be a Game 7 here tomorrow night.
So here we go. Wenatchee and West Kelowna one more time. Game 7, winner take all, 7:05 is when they drop the puck tonight at the Town Toyota Center. Wasn't a bad weekend. Lots of sunshine, a little on the chilly side, but the snow on the ground is just wreaking havoc with the prep high school schedule all over Eastern Washington. They didn't play soccer in the Apple Bowl, both Friday and Saturday. It's about the only facility they can do anything in right now. On Friday, Eastmont blanked Central Valley 2-0. Wenatchee topped Meade 1-0. Then on Saturday, they flipped it around. The Panthers beat Central Valley 2-1. Wildcats topped Meade 1-0. Wenatchee, by the way, will host Quincy tomorrow night. We're going to air it live right here on the NCW Live channel. Sebastian Malaga, Matt Wiesen with the call. Looking forward to that. Following soccer on Saturday, the Wenatchee Thunder were able to play their first lacrosse game of the season. Mason Dahlbuck scored twice. Ben Higley, Lucas Job, and Tristan Ploch each scored as the Thunder picked up a 5-4 win over Skyline. Wenatchee and Eastmont had to move their softball games to Western Washington because they don't have snow there. Sumner 10-run Wenatchee 11-1, and then they beat Eastmont 7-1. Wenatchee's schedule game against Cascade Thursday, that's been moved to April 17th. Speaking of moving games, Eastmont's baseball game that was supposed to be at home this Saturday against Auburn, that's been moved to the west side of the mountains. And Friday's scheduled soccer game between Eastmont and Sunnyside has been moved to the Apple Bowl Saturday and will start at 7:30. So what's our broadcast schedule look like? It's kind of cattywampus now, but this is what it looks like. We got soccer tomorrow, as I mentioned, in the Apple Bowl, Wenatchee and Quincy at 7 o'clock. So with Thursday's postponement of the Wenatchee and Cascade softball, we're going to shift to a hockey night. We're going to air Game 6 of the Wenatchee and West Kelowna playoff series. And on Friday, since the Eastmont soccer match with Sunnyside was moved to Saturday, we're going to air Game 7 of the Wild and Warriors series. And finally, on Saturday night, we will bring you the Wildcats and the Grizzlies, the Big 9 soccer opener for both programs from the Apple Bowl at 7:30. Mariners split squads, went 0-for-1 and 1-for-1 Sunday in Cactus League play. Seattle blown out by Cleveland in the first game, 16-2. Felix Hernandez roughed up, 7 runs, 6 hits, 3 innings. Jay Bruce provided power at the plate, though. He went 2 for 3, including a solo home run.
What your bracket looks like every year?
You don't even fill out the rest of it, just Kentucky the entire way. So,
well, Jay Bruce, a ride out to center, and Jay Bruce leaving the park.
That's one of the best guys in baseball right there. He's been absolutely fantastic and a pleasure to share the clubhouse with.
And you're a veteran, you can pick his mind, right?
Exactly. He's been great to everybody, but specifically these young guys.
Well, Jay Bruce has given the Mariners the lead, so Healy and now Bruce with solo home runs.
By the way, Ryan Healy also had a solo shot in the loss to Cleveland. In the other split squad game, Mariners and Angels finished a wild 9-9 tie. Seattle scored 5 runs in the top of the 8th. They took a 9-3 lead. Then they gave up 6 runs in the bottom of the 9th. They finished with the tie. Catcher Joe DiCarlo provided a bases-clearing double in the 8th.
1-2 on DiCarlo, and here's the next delivery, and it's a little flare into right field, coming in and trying to make a diving catch as play. The ball pops out of his glove. 1 run scores, 2 are in, a third is coming home, and that clears all 3 as the Mariners add on here in this ball game and lead it 7-2. That cleared the bases right there. Cuello came oh so close to catching that ball. Had it for a moment, just could not hold on to it as he went diving, trying to make the grab.
Mariners host Kansas City back in Peoria, the sports complex. First pitch at 6:40. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 29 minutes after the hour. It's time for the Obscura holiday. The Monday after daylight saving time is napping day. Yeah, the day was created to compensate for the hour of sleep that you lost yesterday. Studies show that napping is good for you. Even a couple of naps is fine. Some of the most accomplished and smartest people in history napped every day for the most part. Albert Einstein, Winston Churchill, Napoleon Bonaparte, Lyndon Johnson, they all took a nap every day. They did all right for themselves. Most animals are polyphasic sleepers. That means they take little bitty naps all day long. They take multiple naps during the day. And until the invention of electricity and affordable artificial lighting, humans had a different sleep pattern as well. They would still sleep 8 hours, but they would do it in 2 4-hour shifts. We don't do that anymore. That kind of went out the door in the 17th century. So how do you celebrate Napping Day today? You take a nap. There you go. Napping is good for you. In fact, there was a study among pilots and astronauts that NASA commissioned and found that short naps increase performance by 34% and alertness by 54%. Nothing wrong with taking a nap. I usually take one on Sunday just because, why not? It is 31 minutes after the hour. Today in history, today is the 131st anniversary of the Great Blizzard of 1888. It was all over the eastern seaboard of the United States. Commerce completely shut down. People were trapped in their homes or apartments for up to a week. 400 people died, 200 of them in New York City alone, but it did result in a couple of important changes to New York City. Number one, they took all of the overhead utilities, the power and what have you, and they moved their electrical infrastructure underground. And they also moved the trains underground. The trains weren't moving. Everybody got along with train. That's how you got around, trains. And the trains couldn't go anywhere for a week. And so they said, why don't we build a subway and put the trains under the ground, and we don't have that problem anymore. The Great Blizzard of 1888, 131 years ago. And 78 years ago today, the situation was pretty dire. France had fallen. Great Britain was all by itself. Great Britain was taking on the might of Nazi Germany and Italy. They were in serious trouble. They couldn't pay for anything anymore. They had no money. They had no dough, nothing. They were buying what they could, ammunition and battleships and whatever, cruisers or whatever they could to fight the Nazis. But by 1941, they simply didn't have any money. And so Franklin Roosevelt said, I'll just loan you some stuff. And when you're done, using it, just bring it back. Lend-Lease was what it was called. It was signed into law on this date 78 years ago today. And the most amazing thing about Lend-Lease is that Germany didn't declare war on the United States. I mean, who's kidding who? Our pretense of neutrality went right out the window when we decided to loan Great Britain and eventually the Soviet Union and all the other allies stuff to help them fight the war. Cat was out of the bag then. Just one birthday to pass along for you today. The late Justice Antonin Scalia, the 92nd Associate Justice of the United States Supreme Court, was born in this state in 1936, passed away of a heart attack, of course, 3 years ago. Antonin Scalia, probably the best-known conservative jurist of recent Supreme Court history. And that's it for the second segment of the program at 32 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a break. When we come back, everyone is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. And then hopefully they're here, David Baldock and Angela Richmond, the North Central Washington Heritage Marching Band. What is it? You'll find out in a couple of minutes. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
SkillSource specializes in assessing and guiding youth, adults, and laid-off workers who want to improve their skills. Here you can attend in-depth workshops to assess skills and interests, make career plans, and learn computer basics.
Learning centers provide eligible youth and adults individualized computer-assisted basic education. Vocational training is arranged with approved providers like community colleges or on the job with businesses.
Don't wait any longer. Let's get working on the future you've been dreaming about.
If you're stuck trying to find the perfect beer for you, look no further than Badger Mountain Brewing. We specialize in creating tantalizing craft beers that will soothe any picky taste buds and will satisfy your cravings. Check out everything from our amazing Honey Blonde that will appease even the most finicky taster, or a delicious frothy stout for dark beer lovers. Experience them all at Badger Mountain Brewing.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine-in style at Highlander Bar and Grill in East Wenatchee. Open 7 days a week, Highlander Grill offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Dine in or take it to go, our friendly staff is here to serve you. Reservations recommended for Friday night's prime rib dinner. Call for live music dates. Hi, I'm Shalane, site coordinator for Highlander Grill. Give me a call to schedule your event today.
When Mike leaves town, it's a little scary. You never know who might be outside. But we feel safer inside knowing our home is being monitored by a local company. I can check our alarm from just about anywhere, so when we get home, I know it's safe.
Protect your family and save money with a local company. Switch your current security monitoring to Guardian Services from LocalTel. Call Guardian Security from LocalTel now, or visit localtel.net to learn more.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, I'm a regular churchgoer. Yeah, good for me, right? But sometimes I run into people who used to go to church, but they don't anymore, and I ask them why. And they often say something like this: I had to miss church for 3 weeks in a row, and no one called me to see if I was okay. Now, my response to them is, why do you think people go to church? They're specifically looking for you. Sure, it would be nice if we noticed other people or the lack of them more than we care about ourselves, but come on, really. Blaming other people for your deciding not to go to church is kind of lame, don't you think? This is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and that's my opinion.
There's no substitute for the power of cable TV advertising. With Solion Cable TV advertising, you can reach your target audience right here in North Central Washington. We understand their viewing habits and can precisely target your customers on great cable networks like these. Call Solion Broadcasting today and let us show you how to put your business message right in front of thousands of prospects at a very affordable price. Solion Broadcasting, 509-888-2020.
Hi, I'm Kevin Prosser, and this is my print shop, Color Effects in Cashmere. Color Effects offers screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing on t-shirts, jerseys, bags, banners, signs, and more. With 30 years experience, you won't be disappointed with the quality and quick turnaround times you will get at more than a fair price. Please call Color FX.
Hi, Justin here, owner of Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere. Club Crow is your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue. We are your one-stop bar and grill, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Looking for a fun night out? Join us at Club Crow Saturday nights. We have live bands to rock the night away. Club Crow is bringing comedy to Cashmere. Check out our Facebook page for upcoming dates. Live jam session first Sunday of every month. Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere, the coolest place in town.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. In the investment world, ROI stands for Return on Investment. Well, how does better health, better wealth, and better relationships sound for ROI? Join us every week right here on NCW Life and learn how to invest in the most important asset, you.
We're going to answer your questions and provide some weekly inspiration so you can create a life that you love. Join us on Live It Up.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz, your host. I'm going to read directly from the email that David sent me from a couple of weeks ago. Hi, I'm a retired music educator, 14 years in Cashmere, 2 years at Wenatchee, and I'm part of the organizing team for the North Central Washington Heritage Marching Band. We are planning to have a marching band in this year's parade to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the festival. We are hoping to get former student musicians who marched in the parade when they were in high school, Wenatchee High School, Eastmont, Cashmere, Chelan, etc. But we need a promo bump to get the word out. Can you help? Dave, I can't. Sorry. I can't help you at all. I'm kidding. David Baldock to my far left, Angela Richmond to my immediate left. Welcome to the program. All first-timers get the same question. Ladies first, Angela. Tell the folks about you. Give us a little background on Angela Richmond.
I teach band and choir at Foothills Middle School.
Mm-hmm.
I
am a local musician, and I've lived in Wenatchee now for about 14 years.
Okay. You got out of the Waterville area.
I lived in Waterville for 10. The house was cheap.
It was just, you know, with the, you know how Waterville can be. It was just the nightlife and the theaters and the traffic. And
it was
just,
busy. I mean,
yeah, so you decided to get to the smaller town.
Get back to the,
good old Wenatchee.
big
What
city.
instrument do you play?
Well, I play several. My main is clarinet, bass
Oh,
clarinet.
yeah, my sister played clarinet in the Wenatchee High School Golden Apple Marching Band.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I don't think she's 60. Well, I'm not going to say how old Stephanie is. I told her I wouldn't mention she's 65. But I don't think she's played the clarinet since high school. But maybe I can get her to play.
She needs to be in this band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David, a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself to the audience.
Hi, audience. My name is Dave Baldock. I'm a retired music educator, 40 years in the business. And the last 20 of it over on the Seattle side, but I saw the light, and we moved back over, and we have a beautiful place in Kashmir. We're thrilled to be back.
Good.
And I'm trying to get reestablished with my friends and get back into the music life over here in the valley.
Same question for Angela. A musician, I assume you play something?
Yes, I'm a brass player.
Okay.
And I still play and give private lessons, and yes.
So as long as it has a mouthpiece and you can blow into it,
I can handle it. Yep.
Okay, good. So tell me whose idea was this to put together as many alumnus as you could who's marched down the parade and let's do it again. Somebody thought this up.
That was my idea.
Was it?
Yeah. I went to Portland to watch my nephews marching in the Torchlight Parade for the Rose Festival. And we heard this really awesome band coming down the street, and we couldn't wait to see what it was. We just assumed it was a high school, and it was a bunch of old fogies. And I was jealous. I wanted to be with them, and I thought, how fun is that? And they were called the One Time Around Again Marching Band. Have you heard of them?
No.
Anyway, I guess they're like, it's a tradition, and they march in the Rose Parade every year, and they have people come from all over to be in the band, and they sounded great, and they were having a blast, and I thought it would be a good idea. I've never organized anything like this, though, so I kind of didn't think anything more of it until I realized this was the 100-year anniversary of Apple Blossom, and it seemed like a perfect time to do something like this.
And where does David come into all this?
Well, we needed a director.
Yeah, okay.
And so I don't remember how I contacted you.
There's not many of us who have done this in the past here in the valley with the history of this thing, still living here. So I'm one of them. So I got asked, and I said yes right away.
And you decided to call yourselves the NCW North Central Washington Heritage Marching Band. How many folks so far have said I'm in, or are you still in the incubation process?
We have 30 people signed up officially,
Wow.
but there's 90, I think, in the Facebook group. So I think there's some people lingering, wondering if this is really going to be a thing. It's a thing. Join us.
And most of those 90 are musicians.
Okay, well that helps.
Yeah.
It does. We're hoping that many of them will push that button and get over on the other column. So.
Well, all the band programs, I mean, you took over for the legendary Gene Sarge Huber,
yes,
who we miss dearly, a wonderful guy,
yep,
who was the band director back when I was in high school. And so you had to replace a legend. You did it for a couple of years, and of course Kashmir for quite some time. So you have a sort of a database. You can start getting a hold of some of your former students and say, come on back,
right,
do the heritage.
Right, and many of them are on the list already.
Oh, so, good.
And more will be coming. So yes.
Do you have a repertoire yet? Do you know what you're going to play?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
We're working on that.
We have been talking about that for the last few days, and there have been a couple suggestions on our Facebook page. But I'm thinking today, am I going to be held to this now?
No, of course not. Nobody watches this show.
I'm thinking today 3 short tunes. They have to be short because
people's mouths are, I mean, there's people who are going to be in this band who haven't played for years and years,
right.
so especially brass.
We take regular breaks. So just last night I finished up an arrangement of On Broadway. That'll be our rock and roll tune that everybody knows. I'm also thinking about doing a simplified version of a Sousa march, good old traditional march.
Can't go wrong with that.
And then Angela has reminded me that the date of this parade
I'm a
is
dork. It's May the 4th.
Wait a minute, I got to write that down. Angela Richmond is a dork.
It's May the 4th, which is Star Wars Day.
Oh yes, May the 4th be with you.
Sort of like March 14th is Pi Day.
Right.
Exactly.
So we were thinking maybe Star Wars. And I have
Okay.
some lightsabers for the drum major.
Oh, well, that's maybe the most, who's going to be the drum major?
Oh, yeah, Josh Cozart has agreed,
Okay.
and he was the drum major, I don't remember what year, at Wenatchee High School.
He was the drum major the 2 years that I was there, 98, 99.
Okay, so he's fairly young and fairly in shape to do the
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, walk
Yeah.
backwards. Yeah, all that
Yes.
good stuff.
Yeah, he
Without
seems
falling
really
down.
excited about it. We were going to try to get his partner, Lisa Zinal, to come too, but she's actually judging, so unfortunately.
Well, obviously,
That
the
didn't
easiest
work
thing
out.
to do would be get some of the kids who just recently graduated from Wenatchee and played in the Golden Apple Marching Band or Eastmont. Some of the kids who aren't that long out of high school, because they probably still have a general idea of how to play their instrument.
Yeah.
And they're in decent shape and they make it sound good.
Right.
Is that
But
what
do they want to be a part of a folky band? There's the rub. So we're
I have one who's 18 who's actually not
Look at
marching
that.
with the high school this year who's asking if she can do it. So I think it's going to be great for a wide range of ages, I hope.
Right.
We already have quite a few age ranges signed up, so that's exciting.
Can, do you care about how many sousaphone players you have, or as long as you show up and you still have an instrument,
We
you're
just-
in?
yeah.
Okay.
More sousaphones.
You need more sousaphones?
We need that foundation sound on
Yeah.
the bottom end, and everything builds up from there.
Mhm.
We don't want to sound screechy.
Yeah.
We wanna
Well,
sound-
that's where the younger kids come in, because the last thing you want is a 73-year-old guy trying to march down the street with the sousaphone strapped over his shoulder.
Well,
Wait a minute, you just described me. I was thinking, that's my age range, and I was going to play the sousaphone.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm all discouraged.
Because we don't have a sousaphone
And-
player signed up yet, and he was like, "Hey, I could do it." So nice job.
Have you been in touch with Ray Dietz, the former guy at Eastmont, or Jim Kovac about some of the more recent graduates? You know, hey Jim, you got a sousaphone player or two I can grab?
That is forthcoming.
That's a really good idea.
Because
Yeah.
they're both wonderful people. I
Yep.
love Ray and I love Jim, and they
Yep.
do a great job.
Yep.
And of course, Eastmont has a new director, so that's going to help quite a bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sure. What about uniforms?
We are getting a shirt made.
Yeah.
I need to ask you about that, but
Just do it right now. Like I said, nobody watches the show.
there's people
what's your
watching.
question?
So I have 2019 inside the flower that I drew.
Yes.
Should we put EST, established, so they could be used again?
That's a great idea.
Okay,
And he's
so
not
we should
made
probably
the
make that
shirts yet,
change,
so
yeah.
we'll get that little design change
So
in there.
yeah, it's like an outline of an apple blossom. They may be changing it. It was just a really quick drawing, but 2019 in the middle and NCW Heritage Marching Band are on the outside. Navy blue, just plain old T-shirt.
So are there musicians that you've heard from and they've already said, I'm in, I'll bring my trumpet and I'll rehearse it. Are they excited about it? Or
They seem to be, yeah.
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 What's
Well, you've done this before.
Well,
when you were a kid.
I
Did you
wasn't
like
actually in the band, but ironically enough, I lived a block away from Wenatchee High School in the late 80s and the early 90s, and they used to march right down. I'm not going to say the street I lived in because I told the folks on Wedgwood Street I wouldn't mention their name. But they would march down Wedgwood Street. Everybody would move their cars, and that's where Gene and the Sarge and the crew would rehearse, and they would go up and down, and Gene would sit on the front porch with me and drink a Dr. Pepper, and keep going. Exactly. So, and we had a very good band when I was in high school. It's always been that way, though.
Yeah, and we spend a lot of time preparing for that every year when we have a marching band in this region.
Oh my goodness.
And it's a huge deal, and it's competitive, but it's also fun, and you're with your best friends at that same time. So it's a memorable experience, and coming back to that for our heritage people is an exciting prospect.
But you need sousaphone players.
So we
For
need
sure.
several sousaphones.
Is there any other instruments that you're short of?
But by the way, who has their own sousaphone?
That's true. That's another good question.
I know.
Where are the instruments going to come from? I'm pretty sure my
Luckily-
sister doesn't have her clarinet anymore.
No, we do have instruments at the middle schools because the kids are going to be marching the week before in the kiddie parade. So those sousaphones will be available at the middle school level. The high schools obviously
And the
will be
marching
using
drums
theirs.
and,
Yeah, and the drums. So we're hoping for more percussionists. We have 2 right now. One maybe, and one who said he might help. So we may have 4, which is plenty, but we'd like to have more. So
So what instrument do you have abundance of? Because you said there's about 30 who...
trumpet.
A
is
lot
our,
of trumpet players.
Very well, which is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
They often got the melody, and
Uh-huh.
we want to make sure that's played well.
Yeah.
So my guess is a lot of these folks, and I don't want to cast aspersions, but a lot of these folks are going to be out of shape and they haven't played their instrument in a while. So how's the rehearsal thing going to work? You can't just all get together Friday night before the parade and do it. I mean, you
no,
gotta...
although that does sound exciting.
Yeah.
To do it that way. We have several tentative dates on the calendar in those weeks preceding, and so we may have some folks traveling over that can't hit those rehearsals, but I'm also going to find a way to put our pieces online, or maybe reference a recording that they can just turn that computer up to 8 and practice
Play
on their
along.
own.
Yeah.
I'd play a mean triangle. I
Well,
do.
Have you seen the triangle guy?
Yeah. Do you need a triangle guy? But
I'll write a part for you.
Well, we broadcast the Stimel Growers Grand Parade, and I have to work it. So.
Oh,
too
see, you
bad.
dangle that out there, and then you're a tease.
We do have a woodblock player.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah.
What note does the woodblock come out in? What is that, like?
Yes.
M?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. The
It's
key
gonna
of
be
M.
awesome.
If you're out there and you're an alumnus, you want to be involved, we're going to let you know how to get a hold of these two people when we come back. Let's see if we can get a Heritage Marching Band put together for the 100th Washington State Apple Blossom Festival. Going to take a quick break. When we come back, more with Angela and David. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live Channel.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat. Poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
I'm working today.
I have got some work to do today.
Don't forget, I've got some work for you today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Thanks.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in our community.
New beginnings feel great, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Be a job creator. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
What's your auto mocha emergency?
It's a Frappuccino mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate Frappuccino.
Definitely the espresso shakes. My favorite is the mocha Frappitas.
A peach Red Bull.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
And we are back on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan Kuntz, Angela Richmond, David Baldock. We're talking about the North Central Washington Heritage Marching Band. What schools? I mean, do you have to have marched in the Grand Parade to be eligible for this, or can you say, you know what, I live in Wenatchee now, but I lived in Sumner, never marched in it, but I can still march. I mean, what's your geographical footprint here? Does it have to be kids from North Central Washington or young adults?
No.
Or
We kind of feel like it should be open to anybody that wants to participate. Obviously, our primary audience is North Central Washington, people who are from here or currently live here, but no, people want to be in it.
I don't even care if they have not gone down the street before.
Yeah.
What we want is somebody that is competent on their instrument,
right, and
has a good attitude, and will practice a little bit before, and then we'll worry about how to get around the corners afterwards.
Maybe after the parade.
After the parade.
Obviously, as the director of the Golden Apple, Wenatchee High School Golden Apple Marching Band, you've marched down the parade before, and as with Kashmir as well. Did you, as a musician or a teacher, march
I came
down the
here. I lived in Yakima, and we traveled to Wenatchee and marched in this parade.
Okay, what school?
So, West Valley.
I'm sorry.
I know, me too.
No, actually, the West Valley Ring Marching Band was very good.
Yeah, we were good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always get that.
Yeah.
West Valley.
Oh, what do you do? So, what was it like to march down? So, my guess is this was only like 5 or 6 years ago when you.
Oh, right. No, many. Yeah, it's been a while.
What was it like? I mean, what do you remember about your experience as a West Valley High School band member marching in the in the parade?
I just remember thinking that we were really cool. But I don't remember that much except Wenatchee. I remember that having a huge impression on me. Seeing the mountains and everything when we were here. I had sort of this vision of living here, and I ended up living here. So that's really my only big memory of that, but I have a vague recollection of having marched in the parade. It was fun. I remember that.
Did you scarf down some pancakes before you?
I have no idea. I don't think so.
Well, it was only 6 years ago. You think you'd remember.
It's been a while.
Same question, David. As a music instructor, you've marched down the route many times. Is there any particular parade jumps out at you or any memories?
16 times. No, I just most of those years were in Kashmir, and our arch rival, we were very competitive, was Chelan.
Oh, wow.
And my good friend Steven Sturtz, who was a wonderful director, and I hope some of his students will join us.
Let's get some Chelan goats on this group.
That's exactly right. And so it was the competitive aspect of it, and looking at those scores, and more often than not, we got second place to Steve Sturt's first place. But so my memories are of much excitement, a lot of preparation, and a pride in what we were able to put on the street for those years.
Having been in the parade a couple of times myself, and I've shared this story, and the royalty will tell you this too. When you crest Rondo and you come down to the area where the courthouse is and Memorial Park and the food fair, that's when it really hits you, because you go, there's a lot of people.
A lot of people.
Yeah. So, all right, I'm in, or let me assume the role of a alumnus from X school who says, I want to be a part of the North Central Washington Heritage Marching Band. What do we do, Angela?
Well, first, I mean, if you're not on Facebook, you'd have to contact me directly. I don't know how to. I guess you could email me.
Well, yeah, it's right here. It's angelaisadork.com.
Yes, that's exactly it. Actually, it's smileygirl with a 3 at gmail.com instead of an E. I know.
Okay.
What was my husband's nickname for me before we met?
Okay.
Long story. Anyway, or go to the Facebook page, because all the information, including the link to the band registration, is there. That'd be the easiest way. So borrow a friend's account if you have to, if you don't have Facebook.
We do have a little bit of a deadline. We don't want to wait right up until the week before, because we have T-shirts, and I want to make sure we have the right music for everybody. So we're hoping that sooner rather than later for people to respond.
Does it cost anything to do this? Is it, heck, can you float us $20 to offset expenses or anything like that?
We were just talking about that.
We're hoping no. We're hoping that we can do this and just have people come and enjoy the time.
Right.
We want it to be really relaxed and fun.
Well, it's supposed to be fun.
Yeah, I mean, we're not worried about people being perfect in their marching, and
In fact, if we have some old alumni that can't even get down the street,
we're working on getting a truck.
We're working on a plan for those people to participate.
So if you have a lead on a flatbed, it would be cool if it was vintage style truck and a driver. We could really use that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great idea, because let's face it, there's some people who say, I really want to do it. I physically can't march the
Yeah, we have
anymore.
one person registered who would like to ride on the truck.
So let's
the truck
make that
that we don't
happen
have
as well.
yet. So yeah.
So just go to Facebook, or in your Facebook, that's what I call it now, and you just type in
NCW Heritage Marching Band,
and it'll show up.
Yes.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm looking forward to it. This will be
me
fun.
too.
I hope you pull this off. If you need more help,
we're pulling it off. It's going to happen.
Let us know.
Even if we only have 30 people.
You've helped us out this morning.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. Get a hold of them, folks. Let's get this get this together and make it happen. I had one more question. I just completely forgot what it was. Do you remember what it was, Angel? It was a really good. It was a pertinent question. Very important. This daylight saving thing just messed me up.
Me too.
In a big way. Yeah. How much? What's the time commitment for the people who are in? I mean, you mentioned you got to do a little bit of rehearsal and things like that. So, as far as time commitment,
practice time mostly.
Practice time?
I mean, there's going to be people who can't make it to the rehearsals, so
That's
they should probably be
understandable.
at the parade. But we're hoping people put in some time practicing so that we sound good.
The
We
only
may not
time
look great,
commitment
but we
is
want to
show up
sound
for the
good.
parade.
Yeah,
Really.
please just show up.
Does Darcy know you're coming?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Because that would be hilarious. If you just showed up, say, we're entry number 74, we're ready.
Yeah, we registered, but I told her about it a while ago, and she was really excited.
Good.
She said she got a little tear in her eye thinking about it.
Yeah.
So it's a big deal, I
Yeah.
think. I don't know, maybe it's not.
I think it's a great idea. Yeah. I would love it if you wore Jean's old Sarge outfit, though.
Oh, man. I usually wear a tux.
Do you really?
But I'm going to be playing the sousaphone.
That's true.
So
we need more sousaphone players, folks.
Sousaphone.
Thanks
Come
for
on.
joining me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Everybody have a great Monday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.